If you're considering investing in a heat press or upgrading your current one, this video will help you decide if the Locklick Impress 2 is right for you. I'll also compare the Locklick with some of the other popular auto presses in the market. Heat presses are versatile machines used to apply heat and pressure to transfer designs, graphics, or text onto various materials. But why consider an auto press? When using a manual heat press, it's difficult to apply even pressure, which often leads to inconsistent results. Auto presses solve this problem by automating the heat and pressure, saving time and ensuring professional quality finishes every time. The Locklick Impress 2 makes an immediate positive impression, starting with the packaging. Inside the box, you'll find the press, a Teflon sheet for protecting materials, and an envelope containing an instruction manual and a Locklick branding card. The instruction manual is notably improved from the original HTV-Ront AutoPress, offering concise, easy-to-follow directions with diagrams and infographics. As for the press, it's robust at 20 kilograms, with thoughtful design upgrades including tactile buttons and a 15 by 15 inch mat secured with elastic bands. It's important to note that the Locklick Impress 2 released in Australia is different from the HTV-Ront AutoPress 2 released in the US recently. While very similar machines, the Australian Locklick version has a coloured touchscreen, whereas the US version has a digital numeric display. The Locklick Impress 2 comes in 3 colours: light pink, light blue and white. Branding wise, I have to say I was initially confused about why HTV-Ront was selling a Locklick press. HTV-Ront informed me they are sister brands, so you're effectively buying from the same business. HTV-Ront sells vinyl and accessories, and Locklick mainly sells machines. Setup was effortless and straightforward. Make sure to plug the press into its own wall outlet that isn't shared with any other devices, as it uses 1500 watts of power. Sharing the socket or using a power board could trip a circuit breaker. When powered on, the power button will flash. Press it and the screen lifts automatically, displaying safety warnings before settling on the home screen. There's no assembly required, no plugging it into a computer or registering it. You're ready to go in seconds. In terms of weight, at 20 kilograms, it is heavier than the original HTV-Ront AutoPress, but it's lighter than the Cricut AutoPress. The press area is a generous 15 by 15 inches, larger than the Cricut's 15 by 12. Thickness, it handles items up to 4.5 centimeters thick. While Cricut accommodates slightly thicker items at 5 centimeters, the maximum temperature matches the original HTV-Ront AutoPress temp of 410 Fahrenheit or 210 Celsius. They've increased the max time to 999 seconds, which means you don't need to press sublimation items in several batches. In terms of the warranty, you get a standard 12 months, whereas Cricut offers a 2-year warranty for Australian customers. The power output is comparable to other competitors. These are power-hungry machines. Most notably, it has adjustable pressure, providing up to 80 kilograms or 176 pounds of pressure. This is invaluable for challenging materials like puff vinyl or DTF, where you need more pressure than a manual heat press can apply. And this was one of the contentious feedback points that customers had for the original HTV-Ront AutoPress. Vevor claims to have adjustable pressure, but no one at Vevor could tell me the maximum weight. I read through the entire instruction manual and couldn't find anything. Size-wise, it's bigger than the original HTV-Ront AutoPress, both in height, width and length. And I'd say that's to account for the thicker press area and the additional pressure needed to press down. I also compared the Locklick brand rating on Trustpilot with other AutoPress brands, and I can see both HTV-Ront and Locklick have reviews in the mid to high 3s, surprisingly a lot better than Cricut's 1.5 stars, and Vevor has the highest rating with 4.1, but they sell a larger range of products beyond crafting. Several features enhance the usability of the Locklick Impress 2. There is a red to green indicator light, and the light changes colour when the press is heated to the desired temperature and ready to use. The drawer on the Locklick pulls out further than the original HTV Ront Auto Press, so you're less likely to get your hands burnt when putting an item on the mat area. You can also see underneath that the drawer has a sturdy pull-in-out mechanism with that nice click sound when it's fully pushed in. The only downside of a pull-out drawer is that the tray can drag on the sides of draped material when you push it in, which can cause creases in the fabric. You also can't load fabric at the back of the tray, like a hoodie for example, because it won't click into place. So some items will need to be placed in sideways. The machine has a coloured touchscreen that lays flush and will lift up once the machine is turned on. You can also change the height of the screen and the settings, so don't try and move it manually. Keep in mind it has a little hinge at the back of the screen here, which has some lubricant on it. I managed to stick my fingers in this once or twice when I was holding onto the screen, so make sure you're keeping your hands free from the back of the screen when you're pressing the buttons. The screen interface is easy to use and pretty intuitive. The Customize section allows you to enter up to 4 custom temperature, time and pressure. The material library allows you to use a list of preset materials and substrates. Materials are the vinyl products you'll be pressing with, and a substrate means the item you're pressing on, like cotton fabric for example. I do like that it has a pre-selection built in because it stops me having to Google the temperature, time and pressure each time I use my press, but it leans heavily on HTV Ront product presets, which might not align with other vinyl brands. For instance, Cricut's iron-on vinyl on cotton suggests 155 Celsius for 30 seconds, while the Locklick presets it at 145 Celsius for 15 seconds. So you may need to use the Customize section if you're using non-HTV Ront products. Locklick advertised it takes 5 minutes and 30 seconds to reach the maximum temperature of 210 Celsius. I tested this myself, and granted it was a hot day, so had some existing ambient temperature in the room, but it reached the maximum temperature in 4 minutes. The Locklick Impress 2 is $660 and is on sale at the time of making this video. The Cricut Auto Press is still one of the most expensive options, even with recent discounts. The original HTV Ront Auto Press is $154 cheaper, but it lacks the extra features of the Locklick. And then we have the Vivo Auto Press, which is the cheapest, though details about the quality and performance remain a bit unclear to me. One criticism I have for the HTV Ront website is that the pricing shown on the product page does not include GST. You only see the final price inclusive of GST once you click through the checkout, and it's added at the end. Adding additional taxes at the end is a very American way of presenting product pricing. In Australia, GST should be displayed in the total on the product page rather than added later. I've shared this feedback with HTV Ront and they've said they're looking into it, so let's hope they take that feedback on board. We obviously want to make sure that any pets or kids are well away from the press during its use. The Locklick Impress 2 includes robust safety features, including automatic shutdown after 15 minutes of inactivity, and tray extension provides more clearance to safely position items without risking burns. There are several stickers on the machine to warn about the auto-lifting screen and the hot plate areas. I like that you can see what the temperature is at any time by viewing this red writing at the bottom of the screen, and it appears no matter what screen I'm on. The system has 2 modes, a fast mode and a safety mode. It's preset to safety mode out of the box, and this requires you to take more steps to start the pressing process. You have to place your hand over this touch area on the left-hand side of the machine, and then the home button will flash and you press the Locklick button to proceed. I really gave this press a run for its money. I pressed fabric with lots of different vinyl types, heat transfer vinyl, puff vinyl, glitter, holographic and metallic. And you can see from the finished product that the vinyl is really well adhered with lots of even pressure applied. I can see the fabric weave clearly through the vinyl. It really comes down to what you're getting for the $160 price difference. You're getting adjustable pressure, up to 80 kilograms, the ability to press thicker items up to 4.5 centimeters thick, and a modern interface with preset materials and substrates. The question you need to ask yourself is whether you need the extra benefits. If you're using sublimation, DTF, puff vinyl, or you're pressing thicker items or creating commercial quantities, I can see that the Locklick Impress 2 will bring you considerable benefits and consistency in the products you're making. If you're a home crafter who just plans to use heat transfer vinyl on t-shirts, the original HTV Rond AutoPress or even a manual press might better suit you. For me personally, I really love my HTV Rond AutoPress, and I can see I'm going to get so much use out of this Locklick Impress 2. I hope this video helps you make an informed purchasing decision. Be sure to leave me a comment below with the type of press you're planning to buy. Thanks for watching!